Welcome to Sam Outside. I'm Sam and I'm outside with a warning. It's that time of year. It's bug season. Now, we've been lucky. Normally, by this weekend, which at the time of posting this, it'll be close to the long weekend in May, May 2-4. That traditionally has been the beginning of bug season, more specifically, blackfly season. Now, this season, we've been a little bit luckier than others in that we've had some significant cooler temperatures, unseasonably cool. I mean, it was -5 this morning, which staves off the onset. Now, even when they do start to buzz around, which they're doing today, there's usually a couple more days before they're actively fully developed and have their biting. So yeah, they're swarming. I've had a few in my ears already. Had the pleasure of swallowing a few, and yeah, they're definitely swarming. So for those of us who live in this environment, we have time to sort of change our blood chemistry and adapt and, take measures. But traditionally on this weekend, the long weekend in May, there is a flurry of first of the season nature goers, campers, and oftentimes, the people coming up for the first time maybe to the cottage, opening it up, and a little too cold to be on the water, but there'll be some people doing some yard work. In the act of being outside in bug season, trying to be productive and trying to make the most of your time and enjoy it, there are unfortunately some people who are going to be defeated by the bugs. And for those of us who see it coming and are taking measures, there are little things we can do in changing our blood chemistry. Right? We eat a little more garlic. We just sort of changes your blood chemistry a little bit. Personally, I don't really wear a lot of repellents, but I do wear some essential oils. Now, more specifically, tea tree oil. So I'll actually change to a carbolic soap, and I've found that helps. And it really is. There's no way around it. Now, when it comes to mosquitoes, which will happen later, that'll be more of an early June phenomenon, but we're starting to see the signs of them, but not in the sheer numbers that will be a problem. They say that there are certain blood types. Anybody who's got an O blood type is going to be a little more prone to mosquitoes. And again, there's just your blood chemistry, and there's a lot of things you can do to sort of limit your exposure. The reason you might want to do that is because if you're not mindful and careful with the care of those bug bites, they can get infected. People have suffered from the chemicals that your body is releasing to help deal with the swelling, to help deal with basically the leaking and the oozing of those bug bites. And they tend to be localized, which leads to some inflammation, which leads to scratching, which leads to, you're not healing, and then people get infections, and people can actually suffer sepsis. So I have the pleasure of working with a number of staff, international staff, and they're coming from all over the world, and they are differently prone to bug bites, just not part of what their body is used to. So they do feel it, and they are distracted by this season's bugs than those of us who are in fact residents. Now, blackflies, there's not really a lot you can do. They're going to go after hot spots. They're going to go after anything that is breathing. So it's not just a matter of us as people, humans, going outside and experiencing bug season, but it really is a factor for the local wildlife, the birds included. There's no reprieve. There's no getting away from them. So they'll do what I like to do, and I just sort of play the wind, right? If I can find myself in a strong wind, maybe an open area, they'll be less prone than if they're in a still sort of crowded place, protective space. Now, one of the things that I have found is that these insects, the mosquitoes and the blackflies and the deer flies, they have their own predators, and they are not as developed and in season as all the prey flies. And there are a number of bird species that do an amazing job of eating the flies, but it's just an explosion at this time of year. So it's just a question of numbers. If you're outside at this time of year, you're going to get bit no matter what you do. And people cover up, they roll their pant legs and pant cuffs into their socks, and they're wearing bug jackets and bug sprays and electronic devices and aerosols, but some will get through. There's just no way to do it. So other than being abstinent, staying away from going outside, if you're outside, you're going to get bit. So it's how you deal with it. And a lot of people may be inspired by the time of year, the seasonal change, or out of necessity, find themselves with grand ideas. All right. So they have this imagination or this plan of what their nature experience is going to be. And sometimes the reality of the experience is a little bit different after a couple of hours of being eaten alive and suffering for some bug bites. So for myself and my family, and for the people that I know in this area, we simply resign ourselves to the fact that there's 6 weeks of the year that starts with the May 2-4, and we have a couple of weeks of intense, strictly black flies, and then it gets overlapped by a couple of weeks with mosquitoes. Black flies tend to die off with the changing of temperature, and then it's peak mosquito season, and then there would be an overlap there of deer flies and horse flies as we round out the rest of the summer. So there's a little bit more you can do in terms of products available for mosquitoes and deer flies and black flies, horse flies. But for the black flies that are starting now, there's just so many and they're so small, and most commercial products don't really target the black fly specifically. So it's that time of year. So spent the last year and a half advocating spending time outside in nature. And I have a wealth of experience. My whole life, my whole career has been working outside, engaging and instructing, coaching, and being successful in the outdoors every season throughout the day. And yep, I'm going to eat a lot of black flies. I'm going to get a lot of black fly bites. I'm going to lose a little bit of blood. It's just that time of year, and that's okay. So you've been warned that if you're venturing outside as of this long weekend, for the next 6 weeks leading into June, black flies, and then mosquitoes before the deer flies and horse flies round out the rest of our summer. So dress in light colors, play the wind, find exposed areas out in the open. That's what I see wildlife doing, and that's what I have to do. It's not always an option, so you're going to get bit. So be safe, keep yourself clean after you get those bug bites, take some antihistamines, change your blood chemistry in preparation prior to. It might take 3 days to get that way, and then cover up. Good luck out there. Talk to you again soon. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.